speaking my lecture program, and Michaela for inviting me to give a talk on Chinese culture and Chinese history, because it's very, very interesting, and it's both. I think it's both it's very agreeable for me, and I hope you will also enjoy it. Okay, so no matter how much you know about China, you will or find something interesting in this talk. Okay, let me introduce myself. I study in the Center for Textile Conservation and Technical Art History at University of Glasgow, and the subject I study is 16th to 18th century Chinese dye stuff. And today I will lead you to the history of color in ancient China, and hope you enjoy the adventure. Okay, so before we begin the talk, I would like to ask you, which color do you like best and why?
Yellow, because it's the color of the sun and the light.
Oh, yeah. Any other?
Red, the color of the passion. And what?
Okay. And
I like purple.
why?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's a bit depressing, that's why.
Okay, thanks. So you see, color is not only a phenomenon. There are also many philosophies, underlying philosophies. So let's begin the talk. So the title is The Mystery of Color in Ancient China. So why is it a mystery?
What color, sorry?
No, I mean all the colors.
All the colors.
Yes, it's a mystery. So why is it a mystery? Okay, so the colors have ambiguous meanings. For example, this color, it is Qing. I can't translate it into English because it refers to some colors. Let's see. This one called Qinghuazi. It is blue and white glazed porcelain. So it's blue. And this is Qingshan. It is green mountain. And this one is Qingsi. It is hair. It's black hair. We also call it Qing. So this Qing can refer to these three colors. Another example is that there are a lot of mystery names for color in ancient China. And very interesting. For example, this one, Qiu Xiangse. Qiu is autumn, Xiang is fragrance, and Se is color. So what do you think is the color of fragrance in autumn? Is it very
Brown.
good?
Could be a light brown.
Orange? Actually, it is olive yellow. And apart from the ambiguous meanings, the colors, there are also a lot of strict legislations relating to color in ancient China. Let's see, in spring and autumn period, it said that everyday clothes cannot be in red or purple. In Tang Dynasty, ordinary people cannot wear red or yellow clothes or ornaments. In Ming Dynasty, officials cannot use black, yellow, or purple. So there are lots of strict rules on colors. And why? And so there are lots of questions related to the colors. And now in this talk, I will tell you some stories on ancient Chinese color, and then I will tell you how to make it. So another question. So what do you think is the most important color in China and why?
One. As one. No.
Mm,
Currently.
yeah, or in Asian time.
Probably red now.
Red and yellow. Yeah, they are very important.
Because of the Mao dynasty?
Yeah, we are now in the Mao dynasty.
So red is the color that represents the Mao dynasty?
Oh, communist.
Brilliant. Okay. So actually there are, yes, red and yellow are the very important colors. And apart from red and yellow, there are, apart from purple, there are also some other colors that are also very important. So before I give you the answer, I would like to show you some statistics. In ancient China, there's a kind of official report called Yufuzhi. It is the regulations on vehicle and clothes. So I roughly calculated the numbers of occurrence of the series of colors, and here is the result. So we can see that these are the main colors in ancient China. There's the red occurred most frequently, and blue and green, because Asian people can't tell them apart. Yellow, black, purple, and white. So it tells us the number of occurrence of the colors we can't know in this from this result, which of the colors are the most important. That's okay. So at least it tells us the main colors. And I feel that every sentence I say includes a word of color. So not good.
Very important.
Okay, so let's put it aside and have a look at the very basic Chinese philosophy so that you can understand it better. And I don't hope that the colors will bore you now. Okay, so one of the most important Chinese philosophy in ancient times is 5 elements. Have you heard about it? Yeah? Okay, great. People in ancient times thought that the world is made of the 5 elements: the metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. And the phenomena and movements change of the world can also explained by the interaction of the 5 elements. Let's have a look at this picture. The black arrows are express generating interaction. For example, water generates wood, and wood makes fire. And the white arrows express overcoming interaction. For example, water extinguish fire, and so on. And in the period of warring states, this philosopher Zhou Yan, he formulated the theory of 5 virtues. So what is 5 virtues? He thinks that every, not only the phenomena of nature, but also the replacement of the dynasties can also be explained by the theory of 5 elements. To be specific, he thought that these 5 the replacements of the dynasties are acted according to these white arrows, the overcoming interaction. So here are the dynasties: the Yushun, virtual Earth. And it is replaced by the Xia dynasty of the virtual world, and replaced by the Shang dynasty, and then by the Zhou dynasty. So it's when you might think that it's very strange and it makes no sense, but Asian people, especially the emperors, they like it very much because it's this kind of theory rationalized their being the king of the kingdom. So after that dynasty, actually this philosopher is of the Qi states, and this state is conquered by another state called Qing, and that state united the whole country. And from Qing dynasty, every emperor just used this theory to show that it's inevitable that they became an emperor. So here is the theory of the 5 elements. And now let's get back to color. So as I have said, the 5 elements are related to the all kinds of things and phenomena. So they are also related to the seasons, senses, directions, and of course colors. This picture shows the 5 elements with the 5 mythical animals, the 5 directions, and 5 colors. And as I have said, every dynasty belongs to a certain virtue or a certain property. You can try to understand like this. So in every dynasty, there's a main color for every dynasty, and so that's why people wear these kinds of colors in a certain dynasty, and I will show some example later. Okay. So here's how 5 colors originated, and if you feel that it's too difficult to understand, that's okay, because we will get rid of it and begin to have a look at the main colors one by one. Okay, the first one is yellow. In the Sui dynasty, this dynasty belongs to the virtue of earth, so so yellow is the main color. And the emperor found that the yellow, according to this the picture of directions, yellow lays in the center of the world, and the emperor likes this feeling very much because it's very important in ancient China to be in the center, which gives a feeling of power, and so that he can control the area very well. So he decided to wear yellow clothes, and it's the first time that an emperor wear yellow robe. And he thought that there can't be 2 emperors, since there can't be 2 emperors in a country, so only the emperor can wear yellow. Except for that, the governors also developed a kind of regulation called radiantly colored clothes. So it means certain color belongs to certain group of certain class of people, and lower people of lower class can't use the color of people of upper class. I think it is to keep the difference among the grades. And after that, this kind of regulation is adopted by the governance of every dynasty. Okay, here is yellow, and so yellow is became one of the very important colors ever since. And the next yellow is red. Okay, so here is another question for you. Why do you think red is very important? We know that it's important throughout the world. For example, in Europe, bishops wear yellow clothes. In India, women draw red dots on the forehead for decoration. So why do you think red is very important?
I think it's because red is the color of fire.
Fire.
Yes, and in Chinese, maybe, well, I don't know, that's what I know. But I'd say that if I were to say something else, I'd say that red is also the color of dragons.
Dragons?
Yeah, I don't know, I have my mythology probably.
Okay, but dragon is a mythical animal. Okay, thanks.
You're
So there are other answers?
This is the second part in the colour sequence that every language goes through. So after you get light and dark colour split, the second linguistic part that gets coined is the red part. So it could be it's after you get the dark and light. Difference in colour states then go on to red in every language that can be seen. So I wonder whether it was something to do with that.
Are you referring to the significance of red in a specific time period or generally in China?
General, in the world.
It's a very intense topic.
It's very easy to dance something with red because it's everywhere. It's
It's
sort
all
of popular color to dance some plus. Plus is the
Yeah,
color of blood.
Okay, I think that today here presents a lot of specialists. Actually, I don't know why red is very important in ancient China, because there are not enough records and not enough literatures at the very ancient time. But there are some theories that might explain this question, and actually you have answers. Your answers have included almost all of these theories. Okay, thanks. Fire. So yes, red is the color of fire, and it provides heat and light, and it can cook food so that people digest better and grow stronger. And another theory is the color of blood, and it might represent life. And actually, in ancient China, it is used in witchcraft to drive away bad luck and evil. So that's why in the celebrations and festivals we use red. It is an auspicious color. And another theory is that red attracts attention. According to modern science, there's the interaction between the wavelengths of red and the cells of our retinas. So it attracts most attention, the color red. And these are the some possible answers why red is so important. Anyway, it is very important, and it is the main color of several dynasties, and was the color was worn by the emperors of these dynasties. Here is a picture of the emperor in the Ming Dynasty. Okay, now let's have a look at black and white. So, here comes another very important philosophy in ancient China. It's called yin yang. And according to this philosophy, the world is made of these two elements, and these elements can be represented by the color of white and black. And white it symbolizes brightness and purity, while black stands for darkness and chaos. Only these two colors can explain the world, and the world can be made of these colors. Do you believe it? Okay, here is a Chinese ink painting. It's very popular in China, and it's just to create a world by black and white. Yeah, here's the story of black and white. And next, let's have a look at purple. You might remember that it's not one of the 5 main colors. So it's from time to time it's met some very embarrassing situations, and which results in the ups and downs of purple. Let's have a look. During the warring states, this emperor of the Qi state, he likes purple very much. And at that time, everybody in that state wore purple. And the famous philosopher Confucius said that it's not good because it's a corruption of regulation, because he thought the 5 main colors are the main colors. They can't be replaced by purple. So he said he hates purple, meaning true is just red, meaning red. So what's the result of the story? At last, the ruler also felt that it's not very good not very good that purple dominated the colors. So in order to stop the popularity of purple, he had to say that, oh, I hate purple. Actually, I hate purple. So that everyone else won't wear purple again. Okay, it's what happened to purple in the warring states. And purple actually is quite popular throughout the history. And in Tang Dynasty, it reached the highest point. In Tang Dynasty, the color yellow was the main color, and the purple just followed yellow, acted as the second most important color. But in Ming Dynasty, it met its freezing point. Why? Let's see. In Ming Dynasty, the royal family, the family name of the royal family is Zhu. So you can see from this famous philosopher Confucius that purple meaning Zhu. So the danger is here. It's a very dangerous color in Ming Dynasty. So purple was rarely worn at that time. So actually, purple is another legend in ancient China, and I can tell you a lot more stories if we have time. But very short dialogue. No love. Okay. So yes, what happens in the office and in the lab from time to time? Because this is what I study. Now I will tell you how to make these colors. So what can be used to make these colors? Imagine you were in the ancient time and you wear clothes, just white clothes, and you wandered around in nature. You saw the colorful nature and you began to think, can I borrow some of the colors to put them on my textile? So this is when people began to dye. Firstly, they use some minerals to dye the clothes. Of course, they use animal glues or plant glues to stick the mineral powders onto the clothes. Then they found that some plants can also use to dye the clothes. And these are some of the plants that were used to dye textiles in the ancient time. And they are, I will show you these plants. Now we know what we used to dye. Then how can we dye the colors onto the of the plants onto the textile? There are several methods, and the simplest way is direct dyeing. It's really very simple. It's just to extract the dye components by boiling water, and filter the dye bus, put the textile into the dye bus, and it's ready. But for some of the dye plants, it's not that easy to extract the dye components from boiling water. For example, this one it is indigo. If we have a look at the nature, we find that there's not many blue plants in the nature. Are there? No.
There's purple plants.
What?
There's purple plants.
Purple plants, yeah. But blue, there are rarely blue plants in the nature. And some people found that they can make this kind of blue powder from a kind of grass. But the problem is that it's not soluble in water. It's not soluble in water. So how can you do it? Of course, you can use the animal glues to stick the powder onto the clothes. But it is very uneven. So gradually, people found that the reduced form of the indigo are soluble. So let's see. They reduce them into this kind of yellow and yellowish green solution, and dye textile with this kind of solution and take it out. After a few seconds, it becomes blue again. Because the oxygen in the air oxidizes the textile and it turns to blue again. So it is very wonderful. Okay, there are more wonderful techniques. It's called molding. This textile is dyed by pagoda tree bud. It's just pale yellow. Some people found that some minerals can change the color of dyed textile. of atom is potassium aluminum sulfate. To put it into the solution of atom, it becomes yellow, bright yellow. And if it is put in the solution of ferrous sulfate, it becomes green. So these kind of minerals are called mordants. They can not only link the dye components better with the textile, but they can also change the color of the dyed textiles. So it's another very important technique in ancient time. And there is another technique called over-dyeing. If we only have yellow dye plants and the indigo, can we dye green? The answer is yes. We just dye yellow first, and we use indigo, and now we have green. So it's called over-dyeing. And by this kind of technique, there can be it can make a lot of different colors with just little difference. Okay, so now you may think that can I do them by myself? Why not? I can show you some. Well, as you know, Spring Festival is coming, and here's the rice that I dyed by safflower.
Hasn't the Spring Festival started already?
Yeah, it's the Spring Festival is last Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, and it usually lasts for 15 days. So so it's a lot of days that we can celebrate. Yeah, so this is the rice dyed by safflower. Well, here comes the dumplings. Yeah, and these dumplings are dyed by spinach. It's also very easy just to pound the spinach and mix the liquid with flour, and it's just green. Yeah, maybe someday you can dye cake or bread with these kinds of dyes. That's up to you. Okay.